What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP here, guys. I tried my very best to get here as soon as humanly possible, right, guys? This is emergency price action happening right now, right? So what I want to share with you is the potentials of finding that actual opportunity, right, guys? So immediate short-term time frame bearish, but I do believe that this bearish setup is likely to lead towards a massive upside coming in. Okay, you guys, I'm very excited to be sharing this with you. Okay, so number one, right, I want to be able to remind you over this pennant that we were talking about a few videos back, right? Maybe last week sometime. And that's what this looks like right here, right? This is a bullish pennant, right? You have this you have the converging price action here, right? So this is where I spoke to you about the 202 bottom potential before we can continue towards the upside, right? So many of you did load up this bottom side here based on the regression of this pennant. And now you can see, right, that we're reaching the very top, guys. This is something that we've had here for literally 2 weeks now. Okay, so very good stuff indeed. Okay, so now what is the potentials for a pullback here? Okay, so we did talk about a 241. I need to adjust this a little bit because there are a couple things that are coming into I guess my attention. For example, the 4-day time frame is approaching a close here in about 6 hours, right? So typically speaking, a 4-day time frame would have about 4 and a half hours before it's closed, right? So 4.5 hours before it's closed, this thing would start to decompress its top, right? So now you can see that we're decompressing, and this is about 6 hours and 20 minutes to go to close, right? So that's not the only time frame that's closing. You also have the 5-day time frame coming in about a day and 7 hours. Same thing with the weekly time frame in about a day and 7 hours. Now, yeah, but more specifically, it would be the bi-hourly time frame and your 4-day time frame coming into 6 hours and 20 minutes. So now, if we start to kind of calculate where approximately that 50% of this bar is, well, yeah, it's around like 225. But I'm not saying that we're going there. In fact, when you're looking at price action here, you would have to determine what that 50% is on that bar, and then you would actually see what would be the reason that price action wouldn't reach there, right? What would stop price action from getting there? Well, this is a pretty damn clear reason here, right? The opening range of this bar here at around 230-ish, this one being confluent to that 230. Now this bar over here also right at that 230, this one right here right about that 230. So you see these confluent signals here would be an area of interest. So that would clearly, well, in my opinion, right, it's clear in my opinion, but that would kind of stop price action from continuing any further levels downward, right? It's just the way I believe things could be, right? So now, speaking of the upside on this, right, because we always talk about a range here, okay, you guys? We always talk about ranges, the zone. It's not about one single target. It's about identifying an area that we can see potential buyers sitting in, right? So I would say the bottom side of this bar here to about the tops of this bar and this bar, that's a very interesting zone that we can observe, right? So specifically around the 235 area. I need you to remember these targets here, okay? Keep in mind the 235 targets, okay? So around that 235 is where I think there could be a pretty interesting bear trap being set up here by the bulls, okay, guys? So not only is it about to set up this like crazy bear trap, right? But let's take a look at the opening bar of this. So that the opening here is about $2.07, so 207.98, and the closing of this bar is 207.98. Okay, good, no problem. But you can see here that we are completely above this prior bar, right? And it just it's about to shift volatility versus momentum into a huge upside here, right? That's a pretty damn good confirmation candle from this potential spinning top doji / hammerish candle there, right? So what I'm saying here, guys, is that this, okay, let's go back to the daily time frame. Maybe even the 12-hour time frame could tell us, right? But if we're using psychology, you need roughly, or the 12-hour time frame, right? You would need roughly about, typically speaking, you would need about 3 tests of the resistance from this pennant to consider a breakout, right? So this is, this is not 1, right? So this is your 0. This would be 1, 2, and this is 3. Or it could be 1, 2, and then the pullback, and then we got the 3 mark, right? Another thing that you should notice is that these triangles tend to break out or down at about 65 to 75% to the apex of the triangle. So we're right about that vicinity now, guys. We're right about there. Okay, so I am thinking here that the price action could lead towards the downside into that 235, 230 area before a continuation to the upside. We're going to validate that downside as well. Okay, we need to validate it first before we can get continuation. Okay, so let's go ahead and now come back to the next chart here, to the chart that we were initially talking about, right? This larger one here, in my perspective, is just a bigger screen. Okay, so a little bit of a bearish setup, getting ready to execute here, right, guys? So this is your 1 hour time frame XRP, and you can see here that there's a little bit of a little silly formation, right, guys? Typically speaking, I don't like to work on formations, but when they show confluence or confluent targets, then it would be ideal for us to kind of point that out, right? So XRP here on a head and shoulders formation, which already has a pretty good hit rate, right, guys? It has a good batting average. So if we're able to connect here your contact points, right, this would be one contact here to the bottom of that wick, another contact here, confluent to the initial touch, right? So we would take now a trend line from the very top end, right? That's going to be the top of the head all the way down to that neckline, right, guys? So when we do that, we're able to now consider putting this trend line below the closing candle that has no penetration above the regression, right, guys? So it would be this one here. You can see this candle's already kind of experiencing resistance right around that regression, right? So let's go ahead and take this trend line now that we got the implied price, right? And the price objective for this would be, what do you know? $2.35, guys. This is why I'm asking you to remember these targets, right, guys? So if this is, we have an immediate short-term time frames bearish signal here giving us that bottom side target already, on its own. So now here is the range that we spoke of, right? Because we're talking about a zone, and the zones are, incredibly important for us to, keep in mind, right? Because it's not only about the 235. Remember, we were talking about a 230. How do we quantify that? Well, take a look at your 30-minute time frame. You have immediate short-term downside, right? Followed by this immediate recovery. Well, that is typically called a dead cat bounce. Now, please remember, guys, that I have not looked at this chart before. I am just performing this as we go. This is not scripted. This is usually the way I do things, right? Whatever is presented to me right in front is whatever I do, which is how the private trading team that I have right inside of Discord, they always, we got the team in there asking me all kinds of questions all the time, right? So we'll go ahead and put the analysis down at just a la carte. Okay, so now this would be giving us the bottom side target. Okay, you guys. So there's 2 ways to measure this dead cat bounce, right? Well, there's a FOMO wick here that I would like to avoid, right? So let's go ahead and take into account this FOMO wick as this target here, right? So this would be your bounce here, right? You have the very top side of the price action. This would be the area to break inflection, right? Then you would come back, test it, and then continue towards the downside to get or to realize the take profit target of this. But what is the target here for the dead cat bounce if we avoid this, if we avoid that FOMO wick? Okay, guys, just a quick reminder here before we get that target, that I have absolutely set the schedule here, guys, for the master students, right? I just announced it yesterday, last night, right? So this is going to be the schedule is now officially set, guys. Okay, executions, masters, the executions lectures will be beginning next Saturday, right? We have the beginners charting and trading lectures right down here. They're going to be starting on next Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, and repeated that same lecture will be repeated on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Okay, we also also have the strategies coming up. So in sequence, you would be looking for the beginners course that leads into strategies. Strategies leads into executions. Executions leads into psychology and potentially even options is one that you can just take at a random time, guys. But this is these are the links located right over here, team. I am going to include them in the description below. Okay, guys, I will include these because this is your last chance here to get your butts inside of this mentorship program, or all the mentorship programs, guys. These may be the last time that I actually teach these, and we're already approaching 400 master students thus far. Okay, guys, so I'm still thinking about it. Please make sure to react to that. The links are in the description below, and they are part of a discount package, right, for the beginning of the year. So the end of the season sale, the snowflake, right? Okay, so anyway, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at that target that we were observing here for XRP. So remember, we have the longer term target here based on the FOMO wick. Now we're gonna omit that FOMO wick and get us that downside target. Okay, guys, so we're looking at a potential 237 to about 235. So what we do here, guys, is try to find out what's in the way, right? What's in the way of all this? Is there anything of interest around those zones of about 237? Well, no, right? So there's nothing really of interest here other than this zone here in the immediate short term. So that's leading me to believe that the target here from the FOMO wick would be the better observed target, being 235.93 to about that 235.08. We already spoke about that 235, specifically using the pennant that we were just talking about a little bit before, right, up in this screen. Using this area here, right, this area is critically important. So you can see there, that's your 235 target, right, guys? So right around there is where I think price action may go to. Remember, we're going to validate this downside first, right? So that means, guys, that BTC, since we are experiencing here a heavy amount of correlation between XRP and BTC, BTC is also experiencing the 4-day close. That's going to be in about 6 hours, right? So remember, 4-day close would be around 4.25 hours to its close. It'll get a 50% prior pullback. What could stop the price action from getting to that 50%? Well, here, I would say another $600-700 drop here for BTC before it can actually start to recover. Maybe even $900. It can go still lower, guys. Okay, so I will say that $97,000 is definitely within my reach here, but I wouldn't even be bearish if this thing went down to 96 or even 95. Okay, so I do believe here that higher probabilities are leading towards that $97,000 Bitcoin valuation. Okay, so if that is the case here, team, so that is where I think that there would be this downside here. There is one more formation here that we can kind of put together, and I know this video is taking a little bit long here, team, but I do find it important for us to kind of evaluate what we're doing here together so that we are completely aware over what the play is, right? So let me just go ahead and see if I can't find the position here for us within this I think there's a channel here, right, guys? So we're gonna do this here. So yeah, I would say something like this. Yeah, this would be the area here where we're finding some type of resistance. It may even be like this too. Actually, I do think it's more like this. Okay, yeah, so it feels like we have a bearish channel here as well, guys. This gives us another potential target, right? And so that bottom side target would be measured from the entire width of the channel itself, and this would be the first target to consider here. So 237, really interesting, because that 237 target is also part of that shorter time frame dead cat bounce. So yeah, I guess still, right, 237 to about 235 could be our bottom zone. Maybe I would say at the very, very, very least, team, we could be testing. I'm gonna leave it here at this, right? Maybe that 233 could be one that we observe, but I find it of a higher probability to look at these targets right in here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna list them right down here for you so you can have the receipts as price action continues. So now let's go ahead and validate this downside. Let's take a look at volatility versus momentum here, and you can see that the 30-minute time frame is closing in about 8 minutes and 34 seconds. We're going to use time as a domino effect, right? We're going to see if we can cascade that time. So 30-minute time frame getting us a little bit of a push towards that upside. I imagine that the 15 and the 5 and 10 are also giving us that push, right? So how long is that push going to last, though? go. So I would say that it would last about an hour's time. The hour time frame is giving us a little bit of a green bar already, so not bad. Let me go ahead and consider here maybe even a bi-hourly time frame. So bi-hourly time frame, what's the ATR on that, right? So ATR, let's see, average true range on a bi-hourly would be roughly about almost 4 cents, 3.6, right? So if we are getting that pump to the upside, 241 would lead to an ATR top of about $2.44, right? So 244 is already experienced on that bi-hourly. So we speak about 7 to 9 minutes before the closing of a bar that we get a 50% prior bar. Take a look at that. 7 minutes, 38 seconds, and we're at the 50% of that bar, right, guys? I always tell you this. You got to make sure to use time here as a cascading process or a domino effect, guys. Okay, so if that is the case here, team, then this may be a very short-term upside that we're experiencing. Resistance is around now, and price action could be prepping itself for a continuation towards the downside. Now, how much downside would it be? Well, take a look at the 6-hour time frame, right? It shows that we are contracting on the 6-hour time frame. So in the 6-hour time frame, look at this, 7 minutes to close, right, guys? So right, and it's already decompressed to its 50%. Very good. The 8-hour time frame, same situation here, guys. It's sitting at its 50%, and this is already 6 minutes. Actually, that would be 6 hours to close that one. So no problem on that. So let me see the 12-hour time frame. Yeah, 12-hour time frame is looking okay. So the primary ones would be the 6-hour time, the 6-hour, the 3-hour, the bi-hourly, and the 1 hour, guys. All of those time frames here are leading me to believe that resistance has effectively been in, and we're gonna start making here a decline in the immediate short term. Okay, so that's I do think that we're getting ready to make that move to the downside, which is going to give us a little bit of an opportunity to buy or to you know what I mean, guys. Not financial advice on any of this stuff, but yeah, I do think that 237, 235, 233s, that would be our area here for complete destruction, right, guys? I do think that there could be a massive upside coming in. BTC, all of this is preparing a very interesting setup. BTC also has a little bit of a bearish I guess, look, right, look at this thing. It's kind of like a head and shoulders of sorts, right? So if we're going to use that head and shoulders on the BTC asset, then this can get invalidated, guys. I'm looking at a 97,000 bottom on this. So if this thing continues and it starts closing bars above this 99,800, this would immediately invalidate this formation and flip it bullish. Okay, guys. So if that is the case, then I would say that there is, let me see. There is a way to, well, it might be a regression-based support. Yeah, it might be like this, right? So let's go ahead and take a trend line here and observe what the potential top side could be on this, right? So your right hand shoulder could arguably be this. So we would just take that trend line instead of the downside like this. We would apply it to the top of the right hand shoulder, and that would give us a target just about 116,000 Bitcoin, right, guys? So if that's a target that we're looking at, then let's go ahead and take some fibs here and see if that is confluent to anything at all, right, guys? Okay, so yeah, I would actually say that it is very confluent to the 3.618. So I think that this would be your range for take profits. Okay, guys. So Bitcoin getting ready for a potential 114,313 to about 116,856 based on the confluence between these formations and the geometrics, right, guys? So I would say. I would say that this is a pretty strong area of resistance, right, guys? And to quantify the upside on that, I do believe that we still have, let's see, without any pivots to the downside, I would say just about a week's time. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, we're not done with. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So there is still a lot to go. Wow. Okay. So if we are speaking, I mean, the 6-month time frame already kind of opened with a the 6-month time frame already opened up with a pretty, convincing upside. I'm about to say this. Damn, dude. I can't believe that I'm going to say this. All right, guys. And this could happen here kind of immediately too. Jeez. Okay, guys. Yeah, upside pivot on the annual time frame, and the annual time frame here has an ATR of about look at that, 16,626. So that is quite literally putting the current ATR top on the annual basis to just about $110,000. Okay, guys. So damn. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So I would, and that is already confluent to fib retracement as well, if I will say. Damn. I know this video is going kind of long, guys, but this is not typical. This is not typical of me, but there you go. Look at two spots, 618 at 109,655. So this is likely to face some resistance at 109. Back test this area here of about 108 to, I would say, maybe even 107,226, right at the two spot 272. Get that resistance at the 618, retrace the 272, and continue towards the upside here to face our higher probability 114,313 to about 116,856. So yeah, 116,856 could be the max top on this for now, guys. I'm speaking on the immediate. I'm speaking on pretty. I don't know, maybe in the next 2-3 weeks or something. So it is prepping a pretty nice setup here, guys. Okay, so yeah, just heads up, and not only that, is just that XRP is also on a huge freaking bull flag. What the hell is happening? Okay, guys, I'm not sure if there's going to be some news announced here pretty damn soon, so let me know in the comments below what the hell you're thinking here, right? But I mean, damn, that would be a ridiculous target. Guys, I'm catching a potential $4 target on XRP here based on this weekly time frame bull flag, and I can almost feel that 114 to 116,000 Bitcoin could be the confluence here, or the confluent targets. I think, I guess here's another way to kind of look at this. We'll take a fib, and well, there's that, right? The 3 spot 272 at 421, and we have the 2 spot 618 at 362. So right smack in the middle between those Fibonacci retracements could be our little bit of an answer, right, guys? So here you go. So I think this is very much in play. Okay, guys. So heads up, let price action come to you, right? Because we are expecting a potential drop to the 235, 233, 234, right? And then we can get that rip towards the upside. Okay, you guys. So very, very good indeed. Do not trust this upside here for now, guys. I do think that we're going to get that 4-day close here pretty soon. 6 hours. Yeah, this thing is about to start decompressing, guys. So just heads up. It doesn't mean that I'm right at all. It doesn't mean shit at all, right, guys? So just, yeah. And I guess we can check one more thing here, just so that you can just miss your weekend entirely with me, right? So let's just say that this were the breakout target. We have a 12-hour target here. So I would say maybe, what if we start breaking out about Tuesday on this? Because these are the preps right now, guys. So if we start breaking about Tuesday, this would be the area to consider first take profits, right? So that is going to lead towards, let's see, I would say just about here. That's giving us about a $3 target. Okay, now the center of the triangle is the more popular one to kind of use here, right? So these are the price objectives for this pennant upon breakout. So let's go ahead and take this into Tuesday here, and then let's see what target that gives us. Well, that gives us 320, and then one more target for the pennants. That would be the rear side, right about here. We go ahead and take a trend line like this from the top side to the very bottom side and apply it to the area where we think we're going to break out. And then what do you know? Close to $4, man. So we have confluent targets even with this formation as well. Okay, team. So very, very good indeed. There's also a little bit of the inverse, another freaking inverse head and shoulders. Damn it, man. So if I guess I'm just gonna have to just now take you into Sunday and screw Arca because he's making you watch all this, man. If you are here watching this video at this freaking time, please leave me a comment below and say I watched it all the way. Okay, guys, because damn it, thank you so much. All right. So now we apply this here to the center of the right hand. Yeah, look at that, guys. So 303. We're getting some confluent targets here. 296 to 303, very likely one of our first resistances, right? So it would naturally be the 290 area that we experienced to about 303, and yeah, just heads up, okay, guys, you have the receipts now, you have all the targets, you have my thoughts. I really wanted to put out this video as soon as humanly possible because it's about to start happening here. So yeah, just just remember that 235, somewhere around there to about 233s, right? Yeah. Okay, so make sure to sign up, guys, to the mentorship program, right? And learn how to do this, guys. Learn how to do this the right way so that you guys can become infinitely profitable. Make sure that your year becomes the year that you've always wanted for your portfolio, right, guys, and for your lives. All right, well, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. You know where to reach me in case of any questions or concerns. Damn, I almost lost my breath there. All right, team. So I love you very much, and we will chat very soon. Peace out, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios, team.